Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day today. I want to welcome you to my home. I got a tall fescue yard, as many of you know, and I've got some nut sedge coming up in it, and I've been getting a few little emails here and there. You know, typically in the past we've used something like Sedge Hammer or Sedge Pro or something like that. Mix it in water with some adjuvant, natural adjuvant, and then take it out and spray it and apply it to the nut sedge, and it goes away. Well, my herbicide supplier, the company that we buy all our herbicides from, hit me up and said, hey man, I got a brand new product for nut sedge that'll actually get some other weeds too. It's super duper easy to apply. I'm gonna send you some, try it out, see what you think, and it may be something we can use in the future. So I'm actually testing this out for my company to use next year. And of course, I gotta use it and try it and see what happens, see what kind of result we get and all that before I go out and buy a bunch of it and stock it so that the guys can use it. So let's go out here and look at the nut sedge. Let me show you what it looks like. Then we'll come back over here and we'll look at some things on the label on this product, and then we'll apply it. Man, the yard sure does look good. That joker is dark green right now. It's we're about in the middle of July, and she is really looking some kind of good right now. Here recently, about 5 days ago, I put down an application of that Soil Alive from Higher Bricks. I mean, the color popped back in it extremely fast. So couldn't be more pleased with the yard right now. But here is my culprit. Now, one of the things you'll notice about nut sedge is where it comes up. Typically, it likes moist feet. Okay, in low-lying areas, a spot in your yard that may hold water or something like that. Now, you can't tell it on the camera, but I have a slight swale from the road out to about right in here somewhere. There's a little slight gradual swale that I'm telling the water to go that way. This used to be a ditch, or some people call it a culvert, a ditch, kind of like that one over there. Of course, I filled it all in, but I still left a little swale right here to make the water go that way. So I got a little bit of a low spot here, but with that said, that doesn't mean that it can't come up anywhere else. I mean, it can come up in a dry spot too. It's just an old stinking weed, well, sedge actually. But here's one of the telltale signs of it. When you pull it up at the very base right here, when you pull it up as part of the root system, it'll have these little ball filling things. A nut, and I guess that's kind of where it gets its name from. I think that's the way the stuff spreads, is by those. And I've heard that when you pull it out of the ground, you pop those little balls, and that's what causes it to spread. So I might be making it spread right here, but that's okay. Another way you can tell it is it's got kind of like a V-shaped leaf. You can see how all the blades kind of come down into one little grouping here, and it'll be like a V-shaped, real sharp V-shaped leaf right there. I don't know, can you see that? The GoPro doesn't focus real good, real close, so I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can definitely feel it with your finger. It's got a V shape. It's got a ridge on the back of it, a sharp ridge on the back side of the leaf. And one of the main ways you can identify it is you mow your grass, and then a day or 2 days later, it's up. You know, it gets up taller than the grass really quickly, and it's got that lime green color to it. So that's kind of how you know if it's nut sedge or not. So this right here is the product. It's called Vexus, V-E-X-I-S, Vexus Herbicide Granular. It's a granular, and that's kind of what makes it so easy. And it comes in this little shaker jug. That's pretty nice, pretty convenient. 2-pound jug, and then then you can also get a what weight is this bag? A 15-pound refill. So you would keep this jug, and then if you use it all, refill it off the refill bag. So front of the label provides control listed for sedges, kalinga, and rushes. Apply to wet or dry turf, which is pretty neat, for use on cool and warm season grass. Provides dependable season-long control. Now that's a pretty good statement right there. I'm very curious to see if it lives up to that. Shaker can for easy application, reseed or sod in just 3 weeks. So let's open up here, and I like to go to the application directions. It tells you how much to apply. 2 pounds of product will cover 500 square feet. So this jug right here will cover 500 square feet. And it tells you when to apply. Apply when weeds are actively growing. Okay, that means the weed is in a situation or in an environment to where that weed is growing. It has moisture in the ground, it has heat or whatever is going to activate that weed and make it grow, so that it can actually grow and take in the material, take in the herbicide when you treat it. When soil moisture is low or when weeds are not actively growing. I've always said it since day one, and it's a fact, and I'll stand by what I say. It's very difficult to control weeds in a drought situation. Weeds need water to grow, and they can't take in the herbicide unless they're actively growing. So if you are in a drought situation, you have a weedy yard, guess what? You need to start watering. Water that joker and get that thing back to life, and then treat your weeds. All right, here's a good thing to read too, is turf grass species which may be treated. Cool season turf, Kentucky bluegrass, fine fescue, tall fescue, perennial ryegrass, and bent grass. Warm season turf, Bermuda, common or hybrid, Bahia grass, or Bahia grass, however you want to say it, buffalo grass, centipede grass, kikuyu grass, kikuyu grass, kikuyu grass, Kikuyugrass, Kikuyu grass. I have no clue what that is, bro. Seashore paspalum, St. Augustine, including improved varieties such as bitter blue and Floritam. I think Mr. Allen deals with some Floritam down that way. And zoysia grass is on the list. Don't forget about your kikuyu grass. I think I'm gonna go in there and Google kikuyu. I'm gonna find out what kikuyu grass looks like. Kikuyu grass. I don't know, man. I don't even know where. I don't know. I'll leave that alone. So that's pretty much the cool stuff on the label. Basically, what we want to know what it controls. Okay. Sedges, kalinga, rushes, including all resistant annual sedges, yellow nut sedge, purple nut sedge, green kalinga, false green kalinga, coxcomb kalinga, and path rush. Broadleaf weeds, got a few broadleaf weeds on there. Common chickweed, hairy bittercress, henbit, buckhorn plantain, dollarweed, pennywort, false dandelion, Florida betony, B-E-T-O-N-Y, Florida betony, betony. I don't know what that is. It must be in Florida, and I'm not down that way. Ground ivy, and here's a big one, Virginia buttonweed. If this will control Virginia buttonweed, for me, that's worth it by itself. So you could catch that Virginia buttonweed plant while it's small and young and immature, and you could hit it with this and smoke it out. Now here's one cool thing. I do have a gentleman, I think he's in a town near me. I actually sent him one of these right here, and because he has some Virginia buttonweed, and I sent it to him and said, hey, try this on your yard. on the buttonweed areas. I got one update, and the buttonweed looked like it was starting to curl and starting to get a little yucky looking. He did say that he did notice a little bit of damage to the turf. Some of these herbicides can be a little tough on the turf, and you got to realize that going into it. So my yard's well irrigated, as healthy as an ox. It's as good as it's gonna get for this time of the year. So if this does some damage to my turf, then I don't know what that tells you, but it tells me that if you put it on a weaker yard that's not real healthy and strong, it might do some pretty bad damage. So let's go apply it and see what happens. Alright, so it does say that you do need to water in within 48 hours of applying it. My yard is set up for an irrigation cycle tomorrow morning, so that should nip that in the bud. You cannot apply this stuff. The label is very clear and says do not apply to shrubs, ornamental beds, and that kind of thing. So I guess I'm stuck still pulling this crap out, but that's fine. It gives me something to do. Now if you notice when I'm applying this, I'm gonna shut it so I can show you, but I'm just barely giving it a little shake back and forth and making it act like a spreader. I want a good even coat, okay? I don't want to go and pour it out. You don't want to do that. That'll be very harmful to you. I haven't even used it, and I know that'll probably fry a spot of your yard, so don't do that. Even, nice, thin coat. I'm not dumping the stuff on there super heavy, and I'm not putting a dusting on. I'm just putting a nice, good coating of it down. Just a nice, even coat on it, and it should be good to go. Alright, so there you go. I got one more little spot down here I'm gonna go hit, and I'll come back in about a week and show you what's up, and I'll give you my 2 cents on it, see if it worked. So hey, like, subscribe, and share, and tell all your buddies. That way you can catch that result video, and we'll see what happens. And I'm really interested to see how this works, because it'll do away with mixing backpack sprayers full of sedge hammer or whatever we're using. Dismiss NXT, I think, is another one we use, and we'll kind of do away with all that mixing. Just throw a few of these in the truck, and when we see it, sprinkle it out, and be on about our business. So hey, thank you for watching. I'll check you later.